So today I'm going to show a little bit of demonstration of the Gehl RT105. We got some hungry cows out there. Not sure if you can see them. They're all waiting. And I'm just going to show how this thing handles these big square bales. They're about 800 pounds a piece. And then afterwards we're going to take the 4-in-1 bucket here and do a muck out of the barn. So yeah, just kind of show you how this little thing does and how it can fit into really tight spaces. I'm about 5'9", I'm not very tall, and I'm about as tall as this skid steer right here. So if you can walk through it, this thing can make it through. And this is very important for the barn that we're going to muck out. It's very low inside, so you'll see that. So yeah, let's go feed the cows. Keep this thing on a battery tender. There's a pretty tight little package back here. One thing about this little skid steer is it's very small, and I can't even really give you a good idea for how small it is because it's hard to get good camera angles in here. It can be difficult to fit in here, squeeze through the door. So I know that might be related to my weight, but it's also because this thing's very tiny. And I'm reaching up high here for my bale. This thing's got a pretty good reach. I can stack these square bales to about 3 high. With my bigger Gehl, I can go 4 high. A lifting capacity of about 3,000 pounds until it tips over. And you may notice it's super loud. And there's our dog Mick, keeping the cows away. Baler here is a little broken. So one of the issues with this thing is it's so small, you have very little clearance. I don't know if you can see that with that ram there when this door opens. It's got to really be all the way down, so you don't have a lot of room for air to get in and out of this thing. As far as wiggle room for how high your arms are up, they have to really be down in order to get out of this. It's pretty tight in here. I'm gonna hop on out. And this just has the regular skid steer handles here. Take your attachments off, they're manual. And what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and put on this little 4-in-1 bucket. This is a CID attachment, and it's only a 54-inch bucket. I wanted it really small so it could match the footprint of the little Gehl over here. So let's get this on and go muck some things out. So yeah, I just tie this bungee around, and if it'll come untied or it'll break before it'll break these hoses in case it gets hung up or anything like that. So I think we're ready to go, and this bucket's pretty nice to clean with. So let's go over to the barn. So here's some perspective on how small this door is to get into where the cows are. It's pretty low, and this skid steer fits just perfectly in here. The lowest parts of this are where these big bolts hang down, and those barely miss the roof. So I'm just going to set this camera down and get to work. Now, what's weird about this little skid steer is to do the third function, you have to use your feet. So as you can see, what I do is I just lift the bucket up and I'll back drag it out of here. I think we're going to hold on to them